World War One, World War Two, and whatever the fuck World War Three is gonna be, combined, wouldn't be as crazy as this rap beef. Kendrick, he's not. The target is not eliminated. That was the Drake we were waiting for. That was the 5 a.m. in Toronto Drake. That was the Drake we were waiting for. That was the Drake we were waiting for. I still think there's creepy ass shit about I don't trust this Drake. But from a pure rap perspective, he fired back, bro. He really, he bumped the table a little bit, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna assume this is a typo and you meant Aubrey got cooked, because yes, that was the weakest diss in the entire, like, everything that's been released in the past week. This was the weakest. I stayed up for this. I'm kind of pissed. But anyways, let's get into it. Here's where he lost me, for real. Here's where he lost me. We're gonna skate by you being a PDF. Like, you're just not gonna touch that. You're gonna be like, oh, if I was rich, if I was really doing this, I'm too rich and too famous to get away with it, which, anyway. Then to deflect from that, you're gonna bring up accusations of being Kendrick, being molested. I don't understand, like, you know, I know this is rap. This is a beef. There's nothing off limits. I totally get it. There's just something about that, though, that's like, ugh. Aside from that, him saying, oh, if the rumors aren't true about you domestically violencing your fiance, why hasn't she come out and said anything about it? She's not a rapper. She's not a rapper. Like, Drake could have kept this, honestly. And then the last thing, this got cut out in my video because, I don't know, my TikTok was being weird. But Drake's whole line about social media and Kendrick, like, doing this for likes. He needs to go buy likes and followers and comments and things like that. Kendrick is not doing this for social media clout. And this entire diss, and even the one before it, it just really shows that Drake is a vulture. He is a colonizer. He's not doing this for the love of the game and love of the sport and writing and being a rapper and caring about his craft. This is not something he's passionate about. This is kayfabe for him. This is a cosplay. And it's just, you can see that. Like, the crazy part is I could tell Drake wrote that. I could tell he wrote that. There was no support. That was 110% Drake. And that should tell you everything you need to know about what's going on here, and the fact that Drake lost. Drake got cooked. This has got to be a typo, because Drake did not cook on this. Drake got cooked. And if he cooked, he burned it. The smoke detector is going off right now. The fire department is on the way. If he cooked, he burnt that shit. That's, throw it away. Throw it away!
Here are my thoughts on the brand new Drake song and Kendrick Lamar diss, The Heart Part 6. If you want to stay up to date on the latest Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef news, make sure to give me a follow. Drake just dropped a brand new song, another diss of Kendrick Lamar called The Heart Part 6. And honestly, I'm kind of on this one. Did I expect Drake to take the high road? No. Did I expect him to say some of the points that he did? Yes. But some of the ways he said some of these things just didn't help his case. First off, let's talk about the whole mother eye thing in Kendrick Lamar. Drake saying that some things happened to Kendrick Lamar. That's why he's so obsessed, basically, with Drake. But the thing is, what Drake mentioned happened to Kendrick Lamar isn't even the point of that song. The point of that song, if you actually listen, is it happened to his mother. So another big thing I didn't like is that Drake went into the classic playbook of saying, well, if I really did these things you said, then how come nobody's caught me yet? I'm too famous to get caught. But at the same time, Drake's smart, basically going with the narrative that, oh, all the information you got was fake and that I pretty much tricked you into saying that, which that's still, like, I don't know how I feel about that. I honestly don't believe that as well. At the same time, I honestly think Drake is going to force a Game 7 or at least a Game 5 down 3-1 with this track. But honestly, Drake should take some time and go back in the studio and cook something else up, because this isn't going to sway anybody's opinions, I don't think. I still think Kendrick Lamar is winning this thing.
Kendrick Lamar reclaims The Heart Part 6 in a love letter to TDE in the year the group celebrates its 20th anniversary. Let's break it down. Now, Drake famously named one of his disses aimed at Kendrick Lamar The Heart Part 6. The Heart is a song series from Kendrick Lamar going back to 2010. Kendrick slightly changed the name to Heart Part 6 instead of The Heart Part 6 on his new album GNX, which surprise dropped earlier today. On the song, he waxes poetic about the early days of TDE over a smooth sample of SWV's Use Your Heart. He speaks about the human building blocks of his career, notably the TDE group Black Hippie, featuring Ab Soul, Schoolboy Q, and J-Rock. I jog my memory, knowing Black Hippie didn't work cause of me. Creatively, I moved on with new concepts and reach. Fans never got to see an album for the group, and Kendrick here appears to be taking the blame for that. Elsewhere, he pays homage to Ab Soul's pen game, saying, quote, his words legendary, wishing I could rhyme like him. Studied his style to define my pen. He gives a nod to J-Rock, mentioning that he was the first up to come out of TDE, saying, me and Rock inside the booth hibernating. It was simple math. If he made it, that mean I made it. He talks about Schoolboy Q being introduced by Mixed by Ali, and the words that Q had for him, where he said, quote, he was homeless and I left home. Q said, Dot, you won't be slept on. You the one to bet on. He shouts out his business partner Dave Free. Dave wore several hats, a producer, a manager, director, and DJ. Hats that Dave has very much grown into. And he has an alliterative call to TDE president Punch, comparing him to NBA legend Phil Jackson. He mentions many others, but ends the verse talking about his push for independence, effectively addressing his departure from the label, where he says, quote, I guess my motivation was the yearning for independence, poured everything I had left in the family business. Now it's about Kendrick. I want to evolve my place and my skill set as a black exec. After a brief Drake-induced detour, Heart Part 6 is a lovely addition to Kendrick Lamar's musical series, paying homage to the people that made him and showing that there's a lot more to come from him in the future. Anyways, it's your boy Jacques. Shout outs to the real ones. Drop a W if you made it this far. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Why is Drake in his new diss track talking about, oh, this is great exercise, got the pen working, but he don't even write his own music? You trying to laugh that like Kendrick doing this is like, oh, haha, this is just some good exercise for me. No, you don't write. Like, what are you exercising your vocals when you repeat what they wrote down for you? I'm confused. Like, it's like, I get it. You've had so many hits and everything. Like, I feel you. I'm not taking away from the hits that Drake has put out there, the things he's done. But what I'm saying is Kendrick has been a better rapper. You're trying to go to toe with somebody who is out of your league, and it just doesn't work. And now you're putting low blows out that are just insane to the depths of hell. The SA stuff. And then all the stuff he's trying to imply and then say, and then he's like, oh, well, if these things were happening, wouldn't so-and-so not be falling? So things like that. Like, you're trying to cast seeds it out. You're trying to say, oh, these things aren't true. The allegations that, Kendrick is making about you are not true. You're saying he doesn't have any proof. He's so quick to say things and be messy. He doesn't have proof, and that y'all set this up and y'all been setting this up, and you even almost made up a fake name, but this is stuff you planted for him to say about you. That doesn't make sense. Why would you give somebody ammo to completely annihilate you and make you look stupid? That doesn't make sense. This sounds like something that you would say if you got caught up in your mess and now you're trying to make it look like you didn't. You're trying to be like, oh, I planned that. He fell for that. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I'm like, wow. And it's just crazy that the back it up is happening. The back to back is happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. We haven't seen rap beef move like this. Like, this is insane. We're getting next day delivery, same day delivery, same hour delivery, like same 30-minute delivery at one point with Kendrick the other day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is getting insane. So, whew, y'all. But let me know who y'all got in the comments.
Okay, we just got another Drake response, and I think the next time I make a video on all this rap beef stuff is when it's over, and by the looks of it, with this new Drake track, it's pretty close to being over. Because while Drake does have some valid criticisms of Kendrick on this track, like the R. Kelly stuff, that was him, that's a bad look. Kendrick definitely has some moral hypocrisy here and there. The whole revealing Drake's daughter thing not being true also isn't a great look. But all the other stuff that Drake mixed in with that just kind of ruins his credibility. Kendrick being mad about the pedophile stuff because he was molested. That is just such a gross rebuttal. Drake saying he's too famous to be into minors. Yeah, like no celebrity has ever gotten into trouble with minor stuff. He also pretty much said he finessed Kendrick into revealing the daughter stuff that wasn't true. Like, get fucking real. Like, are you serious? Like, this entire track is just one big I know you are, but what am I, without following any of that up. Also, Drake, there is so much video and photo evidence of you being weird around young women. This is not something that's hard to find. In the Kendrick domestic abuse stuff, we just don't know anything about. This is kind of something that's totally out of the blue. Besides that, a lot of the ammo that Drake has is stuff that Kendrick literally freely admitted on his album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. If Kendrick comes through with literally any evidence against Drake's allegations, I just think this is over. It's over. Also, if we're strictly just talking about music quality, every single song Kendrick dropped is great. I think Push-Ups and Family Matters were good too, but like this one is just so weak. But yeah, the sun is setting. I think we're reaching the end of this. I feel like Kendrick's just gonna put a nail in the coffin with the next track.
Yeah, so Drake dropped his response to Kendrick Lamar, The Heart Part 6, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this shit is grimy. A couple thoughts. One, I don't think Drake finessed Kendrick into dropping a false story. I do think the daughter story is fake. I don't think Drake was behind it though. Mainly because how he initially reacted to it and how academics reacted to it, it seemed more authentic. Like they were like, no, that's wrong. But it didn't seem like they planned it. I do think the story is fake, and that's why Kendrick Lamar dropped Not Like Us so quick. He does address the pedo thing, and one of his defenses was he was basically too famous to do that, but nigga, come on. Now the K-Dot stands, not fans, the K-Dot stands and swallowers have yet to acknowledge that K-Dot hasn't addressed any of the allegations thrown against him, which is weird. Drake did bring up the R. Kelly thing, which I'm glad because I was like, nigga, you have this in the pocket. Say that shit. Overall, this morning I had Drake washed. I thought it was over. But this track, it doesn't put him ahead, but it does keep him in the fight. But more importantly, I need you two niggas to take a fucking break. Oh my God. I have shit to do, and I can't be spending my entire day watching 30 reactions and lyric breakdowns of this shit. Bro, let us breathe, please.
Kendrick Lamar's destroying Drake.
What do you think?
Did you not hear the grams? He dissed his mom, dissed his dad, dissed his
Did you
son.
not hear Drake's latest diss?
Did you forget Kendrick dropped 3 in a row? It's over.
Just because he dropped 3 diss tracks in a row doesn't mean he's winning.
It does because he has more bars. Meaning is more better.
No, I think the person who has the better bars.
You know,
wins.
I think you're forgetting that Kendrick exposed Drake for having a daughter. Forget the BBL.
You need to go hear Drake's latest diss if you have not. Drake just...
I heard it, and it was mid. Because he's not
Okay,
Kendrick.
so then you're aware that Drake gave Kendrick misinformation, and
Allegedly.
Kendrick Lamar ran with it without validating any of it.
Didn't need
made
to.
a whole song on it.
That doesn't mean Drake doesn't have a daughter, because what if Drake was just trying to cover up?
No. He was wrong.
So you can confidently say Kendrick is losing.
I think Drake's winning.
Okay, how is he winning?
I think Drake edged him because he bit the bait.
What bait did
That's
Kendrick
the problem.
bite?
He bit the bait on the lies, ran with it, didn't validate any of it, and now it kind of debunks anything he had to say about Drake.
That doesn't mean he's lying about everything. Like, maybe Drake does like
Well, would you
kids.
believe me if I got exposed for lying about somebody else?
I'd be less likely to believe
Exactly.
you. But the difference here is you're not Kendrick Lamar.
I don't know. Just because he dropped 50 diss tracks doesn't mean he's winning. I think Drake really edged him with that last move.
Delusion.
That was crazy.
My God, Lord and Savior!
Okay.
Drake just dropped another diss track. No, not kidding. Called The Heart Part 6. Just dropped. You know how Kendrick used a song flip for Drake? 616 in LA? Well, guess what? We got The Heart Part 6. And boy, did he address all the allegations that we earlier said that he didn't address. He even addressed it directly, bro. He name dropped Millie Bobby Brown. Because we all know that's what the fuck was going on. Now, granted, you texting that little girl still kind of weird, you know, friendship shit or not, but whatever. And the thing about this song is that it's not necessarily a diss record, it's more of a direct response. Just basically calling him a liar and saying that every single thing that you fell for was a setup. He fed you all the information about the fake daughter. The picture that you got was also staged. Basically accusing Kendrick of not fact checking anything that he was doing and basically was just riding off clout. The man even ended the song talking shit, saying at least your fans got some raps out of you. And saying that because you got an album coming out soon, that this is the way that you can get attention. And then he even used Kendrick's angle by using a calm and slow beat that wasn't a club banger. Gotta admit, this was actually a solid punch back. That man really said, Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And I promise I'll hit you back, but it'll be a lot safer. Ironically, I got on the Whitney shirt as we speak. Once again, man, this continues to prove that this is one of the greatest beefs in hip-hop history. This is a great time for hip-hop right now. He even doubled down on the accusations that Kendrick is a woman beater. He's not letting that go. I literally made a video earlier today saying that Drake has to respond, because if he don't, and if he doesn't address the allegations, he gonna look guilty. I'm just saying, he did that shit. But you know what's coming next though, right? That boy Kendrick, he finna drop in the next hour. I gotta post this video quick so I can get ready for the next one.